Dear Todd, are you going to do the new Lady Gaga song? Hey, can't wait for the inevitable Alejandro review. Come on, Todd, aren't you going to review the new Lady Gaga? Yeah, sure, why not? It's not like I haven't beaten that topic into the ground. So hey, have you heard about this Lady Gaga chick? She makes crazy videos. Oh, whatever, I'm so over this. You think she's overexposed to you? Imagine what it's like being me. I just don't have anything left to say about her. I know all about her crazy outfits and her crazy live performances and her fanatical fan base of little monsters. Yeah, you know what? Big Head Todd here is not one of the monsters, and I just don't want to do this. Well, if there is at least one silver lining, it's this. After Bad Romance and Telephone, this almost has to be a step backwards. After making something as ludicrously and painfully over the top as Telephone, you don't have any further up to go. You have to calm down some, you have to take a breather. Comparatively, Alejandro is not going to be able to match that level of self-indulgence. Just out of necessity, Alejandro has to force Lady Gaga to show a little bit of self-restraint. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so yeah, Alejandro, her new Mexico-themed smash hit. Right, well, you remember how at the end of the Telephone video she was driving off into Mexico and there was a big "to be continued" sign? Yeah, well, this has nothing to do with that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, now obviously, the first thing that everyone notices about Alejandro is that it sounds exactly like an Ace of Base single. Now, that's not a terrible thing, I suppose, but it does kind of bug me that supposedly the most dynamic and interesting pop star of our age is ripping off mediocre acts from 15 years ago. What's the next single gonna sound like? Hootie? Alanis Morissette? The other one is hailing a taxi cab? No, I guess that doesn't make sense. En su bolsillo also means in her pocket. Without the switch of Spanish, she would have rhymed pocket with pocket. This has been another lesson in disguising your weak songwriting with a gratuitous foreign language. Although, partial credit only, Gaga. Now before I go on, I have something I need to say about my review of Telephone. Now, when I did that, I got a lot of responses telling me, you don't get it, man. It's not literally about a guy calling her at the club. It's actually about her own internal fear of enjoying herself. Lady Gaga said it's a metaphor about her own voices in her head nagging at her to stop having fun. Yeah. Well, one, yes, it is literally about a guy calling her at the club. That's what the word literally means. Now, as for whether or not it's metaphorically about her own internal fear of enjoying herself, my response is this. My response is, no, it's not. It's about a guy calling her at the club. Lady Gaga lies like a rug. There is nothing about Telephone that warrants a metaphorical reading. Now, as for Alejandro, I'm willing to be more open-minded, as the lyrics are a bit more on the oblique side. The chorus switches from third person to first person for no real reason, and it doesn't seem to be about anything really concrete. Now, my interpretation is that she's singing from the perspective of a scared virgin, which is kind of funny considering the fact of her near constant near nudity, and also the fact that within the song she seems to be dating 3 guys at once. But that's just my interpretation. You might have your own. Maybe Gaga's going to come out and say that this was actually all about the German Reformation. Who knows? Now, Alejandro, is this a bad song? No, not really. There are many, many worse songs on the radio right now than Alejandro. But I don't know why I pretend like this was ever about the music. So, the video, which is yet again the only thing anyone cares about. Well, the video starts off right away with the expected ridiculous bombast, loudly announcing Gaga and Klein. Wake up, guys. I know nothing's happening, but you gotta wake up. Okay, even if you are one of Lady Gaga's many gay fans, at what point do you start feeling pandered to? Like, when do you reach the point where even you have to sit back and look at it and say, okay, this is getting kind of gay?
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships.
Anytime, Gaga. Anytime.
I know that we are young, and I know that you may love me, but I just can't be with you like this anymore. Alejandro.
Because you're apparently dead. Or possibly one of these gay guys. There's not really a lot of context. Okay, in case you haven't gathered, Alejandro is going to stay true to form by being way too long, trying way too hard, and doing way too much. And you know what? It took me a long time to admit it, but Bad Romance is actually an excellent video. The imagery is well chosen, the editing is superb, and most importantly, it flows with the music and it fits the song in its own weird little way. But Telephone and Paparazzi were both overstuffed disasters, and meanwhile you got Alejandro, which takes this bright, Latin-flavored, sunshiny, and let's be honest, inconsequential summer song and gives it this bleak, dank video shot on the set of Dogville, and for some reason it's full of imagery from, I think, Russia? Okay, a Russian-themed video for a Mexican-themed song based on a Swedish band. There's a cultural mishmash thing going on here that I am just not getting. I couldn't be that culturally confusing if I tried. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Now, the Alejandro video keeps up with Lady Gaga's chosen persona as a rapidly degenerating Madonna replicant, which means it lists elements from Like a Prayer, Express Yourself, Justify My Love, and large chunks of Evita. Don't cry for me, Alejandro. But I'll say this, at least there's nothing too blatant about— Whoa! 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 Spoke too soon. And because we're all about lazily one-upping music videos from 1990, how is she gonna match Madonna's famous cone bra? With machine guns. Well, that's just silly. And I've seen it.
Machine gun jubblies? How did I miss those, baby?
Well, at least in the Vogue scene, she looks halfway decent for the first time in a while. But I feel like I've overemphasized that in my past reviews. So she doesn't choose to be conventionally attractive. That's fine. She's free to choose her own sense of style outside of society's norms, or even my own personal preferences. She doesn't have to sell herself to me. She can do whatever she wants. But why? Why? My God, she's so ugly in this you'd think she was trying to win an Oscar. I thought the other videos were bad, but I wasn't counting on her wearing tattoos, discarded undies, and oh honey, what have you done with your hair? Oh honey, that is so not flattering. And there's a whole lot of Catholic imagery. I guess in this scene she's a nun and she's being raped maybe by a whole crowd of maniacs. If I recall correctly, that's also the plot of Nightmare on Elm Street 5, so if she gives birth to Freddy Krueger in the next video, remember, I called it. Again, this has absolutely nothing to do with the song. In fact, it's the diametric opposite of the song, which is notably anti-sex. Seriously, poor Alejandro. She won't even let him say her name. And meanwhile, she's off having orgies with a bunch of bowl-cut gay soldiers. Yep, been there. Okay, so why is she being tag-teamed by a bunch of shirtless Mo Howards wearing bike shorts? Well, according to a number of articles I read, Alejandro is actually meant as a critique of Don't Ask, Don't Tell and a depiction of the plight of gays in the military. Right. Right. Can we see her deep throat those rosaries again? Now, again. One more time. Alright, now backwards. Forwards. 5 times in a row. I see. Don't ask, don't tell is an unfair and outdated policy which inflicts psychological strain and undue marginalization on a large portion of our armed forces. Wow, thank you for that insight, Lady Gaga. Yeah, at this point in her career, Lady Gaga is quickly going the route of Marilyn Manson for me. It used to be shocking, now it's just cute. Who's being provocative? You are. You're being provocative. You want a cookie? Yeah, I think I'm done being surprised by Lady Gaga. She has used up her shock potential at this point. I genuinely don't believe that there's anything she could do to... Oh god! Oh god! Okay, well, besides that, I really didn't get much of a reaction out of this video, and unless you're a gay, rubber, S&M, military nun fetishist, I can't really imagine why you would. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's not good enough to justify the hype. And I'm not the only one who's starting to notice this either. Both MIA and Joanna Newsom have pointed out that Lady Gaga is just not nearly as weird as her reputation suggests, and they're both right. Lady Gaga is not as original or as experimental as MIA or Joanna Newsom. In fact, why am I not listening to MIA or Joanna Newsom? Let's play that. No, this sucks.
And I ran.
Oh god, no. Turn that off. Okay, you win this round, Lady Gaga. But you still haven't cleared yourself with me yet. You better shape up. Because it's very important to your career that you impress me. Personally. Yeah.
Come out, Virginia, don't let me wait. Catholic girls start much too late.